Comment on the prose style of Nirad C. Chaudhuri with special reference to his A Passage to England. Marks 12. Answer. Nirad C. Chaudhuri is a representative Indian voice in any discussion of the cultural encounters between Indian and Western norms. The experience of reading his books is probably unsurpassed for the favor of linguistic virtuosity and the sharpness of his cultural analysis. N.C. Chaudhuri is an outstanding prose writer with an excellent poise of style. He bursts into sudden fame in 1951 with his autobiography of an unknown Indian. This book is both a personal record and a post-mortem report of British rule in India. His writings are difficult to characterize, and they are best regarded as an exciting blend of history, cultural analysis and philosophical reflection. They exhibit his scholarship, understanding, insight, sense of history and capacity for imagination. Chaudhuri's other writings include A Passage to England, 1959, The Continent of Circe, 1965, Scholar Extraordinary, 1974, and Clive of India, 1975. Critics point to the classical style of his writing, and that seems to be indeed the best description of his achievement. Perhaps, what is meant by classical is the restrained expression in presenting his point and the ability to perhaps stretch the sinews of the language to accommodate anything unfamiliar or difficult name. For instance, Chaudhuri catches up with irony and some humor a sense of the exceptional, even as he philosophizes on the cultural attitude towards time epitomized by the place of the familiar horoscope in an Indian household. Chaudhuri's A Passage to England belongs to the category known as travel writing, but it greatly surpasses all that we associate with this category. It is a book about cultural difference, the testing of cultures and attitudes towards diverse aspects of civilization, religious worship, wealth, heritage, interpersonal association, and so on. To some extent, all travelogues can touch upon these ideas, but Chaudhuri equates passage with new understanding rather than with departure and arrival in unfamiliar terrain. In her essay on Chaudhuri in the Perishable Empire, the eminent critic Meenakshi Mukherjee helps us to an essential aspect of his writing in English, its Western frame of reference. This sets it apart from his Bengali writing where the references are to Bengali, Sanskrit, and other Indian sources. Mukherjee makes the extremely pertinent observation that because he responds to life only when it is refracted through the prism of art and literature, he makes a sweeping judgment that all Indians perceive life second-hand. It is really beyond one's comprehension to judge the capacity of a man who writes a book about a country after seeing it for only 5 weeks. After a careful study of his passage to England, one is likely to question oneself as to how far Chaudhuri could formulate some decided opinions in such a short span of 5 weeks. But his simple and apt phraseology by placing India side by side with England in different minute aspects speaks of his penmanship and his ability in making a comparative estimate of the two eyes of the face, as it were, effectively. In a nutshell, we can sum up the hallmarks of his style: formal statement of what is to follow, precise and crisp details of the visible scene, the subtle cultural markers that particularize the scene brought in with the utmost dexterity, and then the inferences that proclaim wide knowledge and deep study. Finished. Please subscribe to the channel for more updates of ready-made notes on English literature. Also, please share this channel to help any student pursue a degree in English literature. Please do not forget to like and comment.